What's happening, guys? Attacking Toucans here, welcoming you back to Let's Build the Ultimate Theme Park, and boy have I missed you guys. In the last episode, we made this little break in the park where we have a bunch of trees. Right now we can only really see the treetops, but we have a nice park theme, put a Ferris wheel, a giant swinging chairs ride, and today we are going to start the next themed section of the park, which I decided to make it themed like a French Riviera. Now, originally, I didn't really want to use any blueprints for the game. I'm still not going to be using any Steam blueprints, but I decided to use some of the in-game blueprints for these Riviera buildings because I wanted to have a large variety for the types of buildings we find in this area. And if I built all of these buildings from scratch, it would take me so freaking long, and I kind of just wanted to get this Go Kart section. And honestly, all of these buildings look really nice, and it's still going to take a lot of work to blend them all together and make it seem natural. So for this ride, I am going to use some of these Riviera blueprints that are already in the game. I did not download these from the Steam Workshop, and hopefully you guys are okay with that. I mean, this series would last for a million episodes if we didn't use a couple blueprints, and I think for this ride, it just definitely works. Now, I'm not sure if this is themed after a French Riviera or Italian Riviera. I mean, I'm not sure if there's much of a difference. They're very, very close geographically. For those of you who don't know much about Rivieras, it's kind of an area alongside the beach that goes up a hill, and there's lots of palm trees, lots of really brightly colored buildings, more modern looking. I mean, it's usually wealthy people who live in Rivieras. I think it's in my Let's Play of SimCity, Cities of Tomorrow, in the very first episode, I made a joke where I said, poor people don't deserve to live on beaches, and I was being very sarcastic, and lots of people thought I was being realistic when I said that, and I was like, yo, if I was making fun of poor people, then I'm right there in the same boat, because I am really freaking poor. But apparently you can't make fun of poor people if you're poor yourself. I don't know. I mean, you have to be rich to live on beaches. I mean, if you go to California, I mean, oceanfront property is super expensive to live on. Like a house in California on the beach that costs $2 million, but only costs $300,000 where I live in Missouri. And I still can't even afford a nice house in Missouri or just a house in general. Houses are expensive. But yeah, I'm trying to make this themed as similar to a Riviera as possible, using more of the palm type plants, having lots of rocks, and I'm going to tie together all of these brightly colored buildings. I'm really happy I'm using blueprints for this ride in particular, just because the Riviera blueprints really look nice. There's a lot of detail to them, and I'm going to blend them together to make it have just a nice theme to it. And I think I've built so many custom buildings in this park that I think it's okay that I use a couple of the in-game blueprints just for one area of the game. And I'm still going to be building custom buildings in this area as well to fill in the gaps and whatnot. But I just wanted to have a small little city, and if I built all of these buildings from scratch, I mean, I think you guys would rather me use a few blueprints than have to watch me build all of these buildings from scratch. But I'm still going to build a couple because I want to be able to become proficient at building all of the different types of buildings in this game. And also, another Planet Coaster update is coming soon. They've announced another free update along with a new DLC pack coming soon. Now, the free update is going to include a few minor changes. They're going to be adding claw machines and vending machines to the game, which we'll have to sprinkle those throughout our park. That'll add some realism. I still need to add a hotel to the park as well. We will add one hotel, and I'm thinking about adding it into this section of the park because I feel like a hotel would really fit in with this type of scenery. I mean, if I was to stay at a hotel in a theme park, I think a Riviera themed hotel would be really nice to stay at. And they're also adding a photo filter to the game that you can use to take photographs. Similar to Mario Odyssey, how they have all the different filters and you can take in-game screenshots. Well, they're adding that into Planet Coaster, and they announced that they're doing that because I think it might make it easier for content creators to make thumbnails or just to make pictures to show off their park. And I mean, I'm not sure if I'll be using it that often. I'll have to try it out. I mean, some of the filters look pretty cool. I'm excited to say the least. And then they're also adding the feature to change the colors and the color schemes of your employees, such as your handymen or your mechanics. You can give them different colored outfits. That'll be pretty cool. Just adding a little bit more of that customization option that really just makes this game flourish. I love this game because of the customization. And the scenery DLC that they announced, they haven't really released too much information about it, but they're saying that it is going to be called the Vintage Scenery Pack. They've just dropped the trailer, or a teaser trailer, and I believe it's coming out July 10th, so very near future. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of new architectural options, a lot of new building pieces for buildings, and that was redundant. And I'm really excited about that because I feel like this game the more types of buildings you can build, the better. And as far as scenery goes, it seems a little bit ambiguous as to the types of scenery pieces they're going to be announcing, but I'm sure they're going to be dropping the trailer within the next couple of days. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that, because I always just like having new scenery options, because the more scenery options, the more you can do. I've seen a lot of people in the comments of the teaser trailer for the vintage scenery pack are like really upset that they haven't announced a water park DLC yet. And all I have to say to that is just give it some time. It's most likely going to come, and making DLC packs as big as adding water parks to your game, that type of thing takes time. And their development team is still trying to create more of like just like the base rides and scenery for the game. It'll come in due time. It'll probably, I'm guessing, next summer is when we'll see the water park update. Like next April or May, to really get the game kicking off again, because there's still a lot of hype built around this game, and I think they're going to use that to reestablish the game into the market after the game's been out for a couple years. I think that makes the most sense as far as a marketing standpoint goes. Now, although I am using some blueprints in this area, I still think it takes a lot of thought and preparation to put the buildings together to make it look realistic, and then to blend them together using scenery and landscaping. I'm putting some bamboo around here because I feel like, I'm not sure if bamboo actually grows in the French Riviera, but I just think it looks kind of cool. I mean, if it's not too realistic, I might take it away. You can let me know in the comments if you're like, how dare you put bamboo in my French Riviera? Then I'll switch it out, but I don't think it's too big of a problem. I mean, somebody could plant it there, and bamboo grows in hotter, more tropical climates, so I feel like it works out. I think I'm overthinking this right now. And also, side note, I just want to thank anybody who's been watching this series. Over the past month or two, this series has been really blowing up with the amount of people watching it. I think the first episode is at around 160,000 views right now, which just a couple months ago it was at 70,000. It's been doubling. Almost every single episode in the series has doubled in the amount of views, and I just want to thank everybody for watching this series. The amount of viewership has definitely been making me more invigorated to keep the episodes going. And I know the episodes have been kind of spaced out, and I am very sorry about that. I do want to upload them more frequently. I've just been really busy in real life. I've been traveling a lot. I just went to SGDQ and then a Summer Games Done Quick. It's like a speedrunning event, and that's been really fun. And I have a lot of aspirations and goals. I've been making lots of music videos and music, and yes, everything that I'm working on might not come out super frequently, but I still put my heart into everything that I make and try to make everything to the best of my abilities. And I just want to thank you guys for sticking around and making it feel like it's been worth the time I've been putting into it. But one of my big goals for the next year is I'm trying to start my own convention expo type event called Versus Expo, also known as VSX. It's going to be an event kind of based around my other channel that I have, Versus, where me and my friend Josh Jepson do video game races. We're kind of doing a crossover between speedrunning and video game races, and we're going to be starting our own event that's kind of just based around video game races, and that's going to be coming within the next year, and that's going to be taking up a lot of my time preparing for that event. So it's going to be taking away time to work on other things. I don't know. I always have a lot on my plate, and I try to get everything that I try to finish everything that I start, but sometimes it just takes long periods of time. But I think a lot of my long-term viewers know that I usually do finish most of the things I start. It just sometimes is really spaced out. So at the same time, along with doing everything, I try to also live my life. Gotta spend time with your friends, family, gotta get those life experiences in. I don't want to be on my computer 24/7 every single day, even though when you have a lot of work to do, sometimes you gotta. Right now I'm doing some landscaping behind the buildings. Gotta make every single angle of the park look good. But I'm just doing some fill up work right now. Don't have too much more to say, and I'll have Chizo5 next to me. He's practicing his Mario 64 speedrun. He actually has the world record, so that's pretty cool. Any words, Chizo5?
What's up, babes?
You heard it here first. That's his signature thing. He calls everybody babe. I need to start calling my viewers something. I know, I guess I call my viewers bitches, but I don't really do that in this series because I try to keep this series PG, so, it doesn't really matter. Alright, but I'm doing a lot more filler work. I'm not going to be building much more on the Riviera section today. In a few seconds, I'm going to start building a transition between the medieval section and the Riviera section. I'm going to have a castle wall transition. I don't know what to call it. Something else I did earlier in the episode, I didn't really give much attention to it because I was talking about something else. But there was a 20-minute section where I forgot to have the video being recorded. So pretty much what I just did is I pressed undo and deleted everything, and then pressed the redo button and just had everything appear like magically. It's very similar to what they do in the trailers for this game, where they just have everything just being built from scratch. And I think if I do another Planet Coaster series, I might actually record myself building the rides in that way, just to have really cool looking time lapses of the buildings being put together. I didn't really think about it until I forgot to press the record button, and then I'm like, yo, that looks so freaking dope. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind next time I record a Planet Coaster series. Or maybe I'll do it for like one of the last rides of this game. We'll have to see. All right, so the plan for the next episode is I'm going to take a small break from adding on to the Go Karts, and I'm going to add more scenery. I really need to finish this medieval section. I've been working on it for a really long time. There's a lot of just like small things we need to do to fill up the final amount of space. I need to build some more. I'll probably build a restaurant in the near future, and we need some more bathrooms. There's a lot of just small things we need to add on to this park. It's just like small filler things. And I'm really excited they're adding like claw machines and vending machines, because that'll be a good thing to fill up space. I need to add some ATMs. Also just those small things that I keep on forgetting to add to the park, but we'll just use to fill up this space. And I think this exit gate for the medieval section is really tying the whole area together. I'm going to try to build a lot more buildings and try to make this like a cluster town. And I'm really happy I'm finishing up this wall. Somebody left a comment saying that this wall looked more like a Great Wall of China than like a medieval wall, but at the same time, I could go for the Great Wall of China. We'll call it the Great Wall of Hyrule, since this is Hyrule Castle. But yeah, since we used some building blueprints this episode, I feel like we got a lot of stuff done. We covered a lot of ground. All of those buildings are looking really nice. I hope people aren't mad that I used some blueprints this episode, but at the same time, gotta save a little bit of time if we ever want this series to end, because gotta eventually finish this theme park, and I'm excited to finish it up and do some ride videos for everything and just really show off all of the work that was put into it. But anyways, I believe we're at the end of this episode, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It means a lot, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day.